Hello guys and welcome to another video, and in this video we're looking at set 75409 Jango Fetts Starship. Now this released on May 1st for insiders holders, and I think May 3rd or 4th or 5th for just everyone else. Now this set costs £259.99 in the UK, and it comes with two figures. And as you can see, it is a UCS set and it is an 18 plus set. Taking a closer look at the box, you can see Jango Fetts Starship name up there, and you can see the Starship itself looks really cool, really nice detail. I think there's a sticker there, so I'm assuming sticker's going to be in this. You see Boba Fett and Jango Fett, the UCS logo there, Star Wars logo here, Lego logo 18 plus, and it comes with 2,970 pieces. This is what the side of the box looks like, and as you can see, it's like a front version of the Jango Fett Slave 1 or Starship, but I still call it the Slave 1. Like a fully front view, which looks really cool. This is what the back of the box looks like. As you can see, it does come with a stand with a display plaque, which looks really cool. You can stand it up on its back or like in its parked position. You get some shots from the actual movie there, and you get a look at the back and inside the cockpit, and it does come with a seismic charge, which is really cool, and you do get the dimensions of the ship itself. And the other side of the box is just the name of the ship, and the top side is just the figures with Jango Fett Starship with a peace thing here. So let's get this open and see what's inside. So the box front does kind of just lift up like a lid, like this, after you've taken all the sellotape part off or cut it like I did. And this is what we see inside the box. So let's get this all out. So from looking at the bags, it comes with 23 numbered paper bags. Comes with this piece on its own, which I assume is the cockpit in its own bag. Obviously, so it doesn't get scratched. It's in its separate own bag, which is really nice. Also comes with this, which is like just some unique pieces or something. I'm not sure. Oh, there's the plaque. Okay, cool. And then this, which I've never seen before. This is the instruction manual, and I've never seen it in like a paper bag looking like this. And I think you just open it from the top. Oh, you open it from here. And inside you get two instruction manuals and a sticker sheet, which not too bad, I guess. Anyway, that is what is in the box, and let's get this set built. So this is the UCS Slave 1 or Jango Fetts Starship, or the Fire Spray, which it says on the website. And from first thoughts, it is a really big size, slightly bigger than I expected. Usually Lego sets are a lot bigger than I expect, but this one's only slightly bigger than I expected, but still a very good size. Before we take a look into the ship, let's take a look at the figures. So the first figure we get is a Jango Fett figure, of course. He has his torso printing. He has the new rangefinder, which looks really cool. Leg printing, not dual molded legs, but still it's okay. He's got his arm printing. As you can see, some detail on his arm, and this side you can see his arm rockets, which is really cool, with like a wire that connects into the side of his arm. He has his jetpack, which is like a dark silver color, which is really nice. I've heard people saying that this is the wrong color, it should have been light silver, but it doesn't bother me too much. He has the two pistols, which I'm pretty sure are the ones that he has in the Lego games. I'm not too sure, but I'm glad he gave him these ones instead of the normal little small black pistols. And if you take his helmet off, you can see he has an angry face and he has a normal looking face, and he does also come with a headpiece for his hair, which is a really nice addition, which you can put him in with his hairpiece on when he's riding his ship. But he doesn't have the microphone or the earpiece for when he's riding the ship, which is a little bit disappointing. But overall, this figure is really cool. Let's take a look at the back. Underneath, he has a nice back printing, which is really cool, just what you expect from a UCS set. But yeah, my first Jango Fett figure, and it is a very solid figure. Now on to Boba Fett. So this is a Boba Fett, and it is a little bit of a disappointment. They've got the torso fine, I think, and the back fine. The head looks okay like that, but then when you put his hairpiece on, it looks absolutely nothing like him. He does have like a smiling face as well, but I don't know what they thought about giving him this hairpiece. Like, it doesn't look like him like at all. Like, it should have just been the curtains one, that would have looked fine. You know what? This hairpiece is probably more accurate than this hairpiece, to be honest. But yeah, that's like the major letdown of this set, is just this one figure. But enough about the figures, let's get on to the actual set. So the set itself is extremely tall, really fun build, and loads of technical build in like parts in it. We'll start from the bottom of the ship. At the bottom of the ship, you can see the display pack Jango Fetts Starship. and you see some information on it. It's very weird because on the website it did say that this is the fire class or fire spray Starship, the in-universe name, but on the plaque it says Jango Fetts Starship, and on the box it says Jango Fetts Starship. On the website it says something different, which is very interesting. There's the information. It is fully printed, nice plasticky, no stickers, which is really useful. And this is what the stand looks like, and you can actually take the ship off the stand using one hand. You have to kind of put your fingers, your two fingers like underneath here, and then grab the rest here. And if this will work, yeah, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too bad. And I'll just show you the wings now. Obviously the thrusters are faced this way, but when you face it this way, the thrusters do automatically turn. I feel like I might have just broken that. So let me just showcase that again. So as you turn it up, the thrusters will turn with the ship. Lean it back, they will go back down like that. So if you lean it forward and even more forward, they will just keep turning, which is very, very useful. Before we take a closer look at the ship, let's take a look at the display stand. So this is built all fully out of Technic. It's really well. It has these two hooks which hook into the back of the ship. And I honestly I don't know why they do these blue pieces. I wish they were black. It would just blend in a lot more. I'm sure there's a reason for it though. And yeah, there's a display pack. Looks really cool, decent size. That's how tall it is next to a figure, pretty high. But yeah, now let's get into the ship itself. So this is the ship itself in landed, and it does look really, really cool. There's loads of little details. It's really good how they've done all the curves and everything for this ship. Now, compared to the first one, they've done a really good job of filling like little gaps, but there are still some tiny little gaps like there, and they're just small ones like some there. And if you push this up, you can see that this can be covered a little bit. Well, when it's facing downwards, this does pull down a little bit more. There's a little bit more of a gap. And as you can see, the front here, this has a little bit of a gap. This actually comes down, and you can see that they've used two like little rubber pieces to keep these bending together, and this sits up like that. Looks really cool. And as you can see, the turrets here do move together, so they are connected to each other, and they can do they can't really do a 360 going backwards, but they can go down this way. So if it was flying, it'll be shooting behind itself, and it looks really cool. They do move a little bit and maybe even fall off. Not really had much time to actually like play with this. It's not super tight, but it's not made to be played with. It's just made for a display. Now you do get loads of detailing on the side of the ship. Obviously you've got some grabling here, mechanical stuff. You do get some stickers here. I'm not sure what this says. I don't know Star Wars language. And on the top they've got nice colours. Another sticker there, another sticker there. I feel like some of these could have just been pieces or even printed if they really wanted to. There's a sticker here, which looks okay. Again, there's a little bit of a gap there, sticker there, and a bit more greebling on this side, which is really nice. The engines look really cool. Quite a pain to build, like they kept falling apart for me. This bit, they use a really cool piece. If you look here, if it moves up and down, this bit comes through, which basically just gives it more like movement and freeability. There is slight design changes. The only thing that isn't symmetrical that I've seen, of course, is this, but on about in the building, is how this yellow piece is more in the corner, but this one is more downwards. So if you look at it from this side, that yellow piece on that side is a little bit further down. And I did double check, that is right. I just thought that was interesting. Nice attention to detail and accuracy. On the windshield, you can see that there is a white sticker here, which doesn't really match the whiteness here, which is quite upsetting. But it is what it is, you know, there's nothing you can do. And let's get this on the display so we can look at the back of the ship. So this is the back of the ship, and the back of the ship looks incredible. You can see how like the shaping like comes together from the back. Like, there's a lot of clip pieces which makes it curve really well. And the curving of this is actually really good. You can move these yourself as well. There are also these parts that can move on both sides. I'm not sure if that's if it's meant to stay like this or it's meant to be like a engine looking thing, but yeah, you can see the one big engine here with the yellow piece, which looks really cool. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if it's like the shield piece. It looks kind of like a shield thing. I'm not too sure. And you get the two more engines here, and this little red thing, which kind of looks like C-3PO if that was like a mouth and they were eyes and that was like a little bit of a nose. Quite funny. And you do get all these like see-through white pieces, which I think is when it's stationary, keeps it nice and flat, which is really cool. And as you can see, the stand just kind of just hooks into here as well. Now there is actually a feature on the back of these. Well, not really a feature, more of like a visual thing. So this bit does come down, and I'm not sure why. I've not really seen any reviews of this coming down. So I don't know if I've built it wrong or it does just come down, but you can take a look. Let me get the light. You can take a look on the inside. It is literally just brick built. There isn't actually anything special like on the inside. However, you can move these across or take them off if you want to, which reveals a seismic charge. Now I feel like this was meant to come down to make this easier to pull out, because it is quite in a tight spot for someone with big hands. And this is what the seismic charge looks like. These are all the bits that look printed are actually stickers, which is quite unfortunate, but this is quite a unique thing about this ship, was the seismic charge sound. And this literally just hooks in to up here on one little stud. And again, I've got quite big hands, so getting it in is a bit of a pain, but it does just press in like that. And I assume you can just put this back up. I genuinely don't know if this is meant to come down. And if you want to, you can display it so these are open, just like that. So it looks like the seismic charge is about to come out. But I think for now, I'd prefer to have it closed, as I don't plan on displaying it from the backside. Yeah, you can just close it like that. And you wouldn't even know that there was a seismic charge. It looks really cool. So going back to the wings, you can see more detailing here, or like the mechanical detailing, all these little pieces, which gives it just way more personality. And you can see a little few gaps here still. There's a little bit of a gap here. Apparently it's much better than the first one, but when I was building these, it just kept coming apart for me. It was quite annoying to build that part, but the rest of it was fine. And then looking at the ship from the very front, it does have the nice like oval like rugby ball shape, which is much better than the original Slave one, the Boba Fett's one, which is more like a square looking one. I've seen comparisons, this is much better. And you can actually take in the cockpit off and look inside of it. So you just pull it off here, and the bottom just disconnects like that. And you do have 2 seats here for some characters. You also have an interior which can actually be taken out like this, which connects through these sliding pieces, which connect into the sliding pieces there. And there you go. So a closer look at this, you do get a picture of, I assume, a star system, which is a sticker, and you do get a sticker of the Slave one right there, which is really cool, and another sticker of the navigation or the control panel. And this, which I'm pretty sure is like a missile aim or the aiming system, I'm not too sure, but it does have the back seats which move like this, which look really cool. And of course, you can sit your characters in these seats, so little Boba Fett would go there. And you might be thinking, well, Jango Fett isn't going to fit with his jetpack off, so you can take his jetpack off and you can take his guns out. It's probably best that he doesn't have his helmet on while he's flying, and he can sit in just like so. You might be wondering, now they're sat in there, where are you supposed to put these? Well, again, in this ship, there is this little bit that does end up pulling out, and as you can see, there's not really much in there. But on the back of this, you can see a little like clips and stuff, which is actually made for the guns. So you can put the guns in like these. It doesn't actually say this on the box, but I assume that's what this is for. And the jetpack can just go on like this. And I assume this is like some health pack or a grenade, or maybe like it's meant to be a Bacta tank or something. And then this just slots right back in like so. Super, super easy. And then these will slide back in as well. And yeah, that is what they look like inside the ship. Now, you might be thinking, where does helmet go? Well, there isn't really a spot for the helmet, so I would just put it just down there. Fits fine. As long as you're not spinning it about, it looks fine. There is also this here, like a sticker, which I think either means Slave 1 or is the planet where they got this ship from, which is like a slave planet. So Lego did kind of get it in the ship, but they couldn't name it, obviously, because of Disney. And this bit does just connect onto these little studs here. Really nice and easy, and like that. And what I was saying earlier is when it's facing like this, there is more of a gap there, which can be pushed up and covered. So as you can see, if I push it up, the gap does get covered, but you know, it's fine. When it's like down straight on its landing position, it does kind of become more covered and filled up. And then the last feature is actually in the standing area. So obviously one of the main features of this, and one that you see a lot in all the films whenever the Slave One has appeared, is this ramp where the characters can get inside. Obviously Boba Fett runs inside at some point, and there's the part where Han Solo gets taken in episode 5, I think it is. But they've done a really cool technique where when you push this down, it also opens the door. So you just push this down and the top bit opens like that. And there is an inside. Let's see if I get some light in there. There is like an inside, but it's very, very dark. There's not meant to be figures put in there. But that could be a reason why the back bit opens. Like I said, I didn't know why it opened. Maybe if I accidentally put a figure in there, I can open the back and it will just come out. Maybe it's a way of getting the figures out. But to close it back up, you can just push this down and it just smoothly just opens. It's so smooth. It's so, so good. But again, you can put that there. You can stand Boba at the doorway. And you can close with it on and everything like that. There's also more studs at the back, but I don't think you can actually fit a figure in there. Oh, my hands are way too big for that. But yeah, it is a really, really cool feature on that. And on the sides, there are 2 more turrets here, and obviously the main turrets are there. So while I'm putting the ship back on the stand, I will just show you how this connects on. So you can see there are 2 holes right here, which clip down into like there, and it just sits on pretty well, and it looks amazing on display, like really, really, really cool. And when the figures are sat in their positions, top or bottom, you can see them very clearly in the front windshield, which looks really sick. So what do I actually think about this set? I think this set is really cool. It was really fun build. It took me about 7 hours, but I did make a few mistakes, so it probably would have been shorter with 0 mistakes. The shaping of it, the size of it is really good. You definitely get your money's worth with the price per piece. You definitely get your money's worth on that. The only letdown is that Boba Fett figure right there with the hairpiece. But of course, if you've got a better hairpiece, you can just change it yourself. But it's a shame that Lego didn't give him that. Also, there's no room for the Boba Fett helmet to go. You just kind of have to leave it wherever. But it is nice that they considered the rest in behind the cockpit. And it's a shame that he doesn't have his earpiece when he's flying his ship, which would have been accurate to the film. But apart from that, the ship is really, really good. So many cool features. There's kind of like loads of play features, even though it's not a play set, which is really nice. And the back just looks incredible. The shaping is incredible. And I prefer this over Boba Fett's Slave one. I just think it's just a better color ship. More nostalgic to me, as I am born in 1999, so I grew up with the prequels. But yeah, I do think this is a really good ship. Definitely worth it. Probably one of my favorite UCS ships. It's finally a Star Wars ship that's actually colorful, which is really nice. So I'd probably give it like a 9.7, 9.8 out of 10, as there are just some little things that need changing. But the set itself is really cool. The ramp, the way it moves is really sick. Like, definitely worth it. Very fun build, much better than some other UCS builds. But yeah, that is the end of the video. If you have this, what do you think? If you don't, what do you think from this video? And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.